make sure that cybersecurity is the thing for you. And if you really feel like you love it, then you just got to do it, because the longer you wait, the more you'll forget about it. And then days will go by, weeks go by, years go by, and then all of a sudden you've been in your job for 10 years and you still hate it and you never moved.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cyber Revolution podcast. I'm Adam Hewitt, the CEO of Cyber Revolution. Today, I'm joined by a current student of ours, Jayden. Jayden, how are you going?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. I know you're busy. You've had a busy last couple of weeks, learning some new skills, changing careers, obviously while studying. So really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
No problem.
As I said before, everyone, Jayden is a current student of ours. He's doing really well in his studies, which is one reason to have him on. But another reason is to celebrate, as you have recently changed careers and you've landed your first role in the industry. So well done. We're going to get into more of that throughout the podcast. Before we do, I want to give our new listeners of the podcast a bit of an overview. If you are listening to this for the first time, it'll save you a bit of time to find out whether it is for you or not. So Cyber Revolution, we are Australia's only dedicated cybersecurity training and placement institute. We specialize in finding people their first job in cybersecurity. Now, over the years, we've helped people do this. Thousands of people have come to us, but it is still a very mysterious industry. We've still got lots of people reaching out to us going, what is this thing called cybersecurity? How do I get a job? I've recently been hacked. What can I do about it? What skills do I need to learn? All of these questions that, career changes and people wanting to get into a new industry should be having. And the point is to try and educate everyone about this industry and how they can land their first job in cybersecurity. Okay, so if that sounds interesting, this could be the podcast for you. All right, Jayden, let's get into it. Let's start from the beginning, mate. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I guess even before you decided to join Cyber Revolution, what you were doing and what made you think about a career change into cyber. What was it?
Yeah, so as soon as I graduated from school, about a month after that, COVID hit. And originally I had my Sparky certificate, but couldn't find a job in that, obviously, because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I managed to find a roofing job, and then I did that for about 3 years. And at some point in the 3 years, I started to realize that this probably isn't a forever career. And I've got a love and a massive passion for IT. I build all my friends' computers. I just constantly paying attention to how the technical world's going and whatnot. And so then I started looking at cybersecurity jobs, and well, actually no, I started looking at just IT jobs to start off with on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as Facebook does, it looked at what I was searching, and it's like, oh, here's some ads for you. So then I come across Cyber Revolution, and I started watching some videos about it, looked at some reviews, and I listened to almost all of the podcasts, just see what it was like while I was at work. And so now I'm here.
Yeah, surreal feeling. You've come full circle, right?
Yeah.
And so a few things to unpack there, right? I think you're a young guy. You're 21 years old. To be able to have the self-awareness to realize that this isn't the thing that you want to be doing for the rest of your life. You've obviously worked pretty hard to go through your apprenticeship. And so was that scary? Was that a scary thought to think, you know what? I've just put 3 years of my life into getting this apprenticeship, but it's not for me. I'm going to do something different. Was that overwhelming?
Yeah, it was a little bit. I was on pretty good money and full time then, and I knew that I would have to take a step back in order to move forward.
Yep.
That was a little bit worrying, but so far I'm very much loving it.
Yeah, good, mate. Like, you're 21 years old. You've got such a massive amount of time to be able to, make money. You're going to make more money in cybersecurity than you ever would in being a Sparky or being a roofer.
Yeah.
That's obviously not what it's about for you. And we preach all the time, yes, you can make really good money, but if you're in it just for the quick cash grab, that's not the kind of people we want to attract and the industry wants to attract. You have to be in it for the right reasons. And you obviously are, because as I said, you've been wanting to build your friends' computers and your mates' computers for years now. And we're going to unpack that a little bit further. But yeah, tell us a little bit about the role that you've landed now.
So right now I'm a IT help desk level 1. So any of the end users around our company, they come to me for any of their issues. And I'm learning some of the back end and networking and whatnot. But for the most part, I just take care of the ticketing system and assign my other colleagues with their jobs and fix the printer problems and
Yep.
whatnot.
So it's stuff that you probably, as I said, you're really well adversed at. It's what you're studying with us now. We're starting with you the basics of hardware and software. So you're pretty comfortable in that. But the point of it is for you to progress really quickly, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Through the ranks. Have the company you're working for, have they given you that pathway to progression?
Yeah, definitely. So I've told my boss that my goal eventually is to go into cybersecurity, and I'd like to learn a lot of the networking and whatnot. And we've got, well, the company actually that I work for, it burnt down maybe 2 months ago.
Right.
And I was only there for a month and then it burnt down. It's called Alexon Electronics. We build PCBs from scratch pretty much with robotics and whatnot, robots, sorry. And one of the batteries went off in the middle of the night and the whole factory burnt down pretty much.
Wow.
Um, yeah, we had to go through in hazmat suits because it was extremely toxic and grab out as much stuff as we could. We're about 9 weeks after the fire and we've moved location and we've got the robots back up and running and the servers, and we're an umbrella company. So there's Alexon Electronics, mining, TPS and Titley.
Mhm.
And our IT team runs all four of those. And we've got, loads of VMs and heaps of servers. And we use Unify, which is what they're teaching me,
Yep.
Ubiquity and Unify and all that.
Brilliant, mate. And so you're enjoying it so far?
I'm loving it.
How are you finding, like, obviously you're in a role before that you're earning good money, right? But not feeling fulfilled, versus now you're in an industry where you've got that career progression and it's actually your passion. Have you noticed a difference in like just general life? Like, have you noticed
Oh
like
yeah.
feeling different? Because you obviously your work is what you do the majority of your time. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so back when I was roofing, I used to stay up late because I just dreaded going into work. I hated it. And that made my life worse because I would just be tired and all that all the time. And then fast forward and I come into IT. I'm loving my job. I'm going to bed early so I could get back up and go to work. And the team I'm working with makes it good as well. But IT is just such a fun job. There's so much to learn and you're never going to know everything.
No, you're not. Just wanted to say congratulations on making the change and deciding that you needed to make a change within your life, because that takes guts. And so obviously it's good to hear that it's paid off and changed your life, mate. So well done. And the other thing that you mentioned before is that IT is so fun and it's forever changing. I always talk about it within these podcasts and within our students. You have to enjoy learning new skills. I speak to cybersecurity professionals that have been in the industry for 10, 20 years, and they are still doing certifications. So if you're not really a lifelong learner, if you don't enjoy, or you're not curious or inquisitive and you don't like learning new things, then we always say, probably not going to be the best industry for you. So have you always liked learning new things?
Yeah, I'm definitely a very inquisitive person.
Always have been?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just every time I get home I just watch YouTube, and my YouTube videos for my girlfriend, they're so boring. It's just the most mundane thing to her, but I just love it. I just love learning in IT and anything technical. I just like to learn about it.
Awesome. So you're definitely going to go down the technical pathway. We always talk about the two pathways in cybersecurity, the technical or the consulting. I think we can all agree that you're more suited to the technical pathway, and you're going to love getting your head down, fixing problems, probably in a SOC analyst role, security operations center role, and more so behind the desk doing the technical work, which is
Yeah, most definitely.
where I can see you. Okay, great. Now on that, it was an interest of yours, right? As you said, you always enjoyed building your friends' computers, and you're probably the IT guy for your family already. You didn't have any IT certifications or qualifications. Were you nervous about jumping in and committing to that? Or actually, probably a better question is, why did you decide to do industry certifications over going to university as such a young guy?
To be honest, university's so expensive, and I've been hearing quite a lot about from my bosses and just older people in general that university isn't as necessary anymore. A lot of companies, you'll go through university and all that, and then they'll ask you for experience, and they won't be happy unless you get experience. It's always experience. Um, but no company wants to give you the experience.
Yeah.
I just landed with Cyber Revolution because of the ads and the reviews and mostly the podcast, to be honest, just listening to everyone else and Daniel and his podcast helped me because he was in construction and
Yep.
moved over to IT as well.
Yeah. I think that's what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to explain that you don't need to be an IT or a cybersecurity genius already. Like no one's born a cybersecurity expert. Everyone starts from the bottom and learns their way up. And it can be anyone from all walks of life. Usually it takes somebody that resonates with you, which is why we do the podcast. For you, it was Daniel, who was in construction, and he landed a role, within 60 days with us. But you don't have to. We've helped people in dozens and dozens of different industries. The main thing is you have to have an interest in the field, and there are some transferable skills that you can, overlap into cybersecurity. That is the main reason that I really started this podcast, is to try and educate people that you don't have to go to university. You don't have to be a programming genius to get into this industry. That's not what cybersecurity needs right now, mate. So well done on doing your research. That's the most important thing before making any big decision is do your research. Okay, great.
Yeah.
You're in your studies. What are you enjoying most about the studies?
Actually, I really enjoy the videos, and I like that it's got a notes section of the videos. So while you're watching the videos, you can go back to the notes and whatnot.
Yep.
And the practice tests, I've done those a few times. I'm
Yeah.
getting close to doing my exam for my CompTIA
Yes.
Core 1.
Yep.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. No, it's exciting and nervous period, especially when you're sitting your first exam, because
Yeah.
through the process. I see it in so many student faces. They're really nervous for their first exam, but then they sit it, pass it, and then they realize that the process works and they just relax into your study. So it's okay if you're a bit nervous.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that.
Yeah. Use the support. Have you had a session with Jason? Jason is one of our student support officers. He's actually sat, that exam. He's passed it, and he's going to do an exam preparation session with you. Have you had one of those sessions with him?
Not yet, no.
Okay, we'll get that booked in. He's passed it all. He's got some tricks and tips. Obviously, the questions that he answered are going to be a little bit different probably to the ones you do. CompTIA change up the questions, but the structure is similar, and so we've got some insider tricks and tips for our students to make sure that they pass. Speaking of tricks and tips, this is a question that I ask all of the students that come on here at the end. This is the last question that I ask, and it's around your top tips for somebody that is wanting to get into cyber. They might be like yourself, hating their job, staying up late at night, dreading Monday coming, and just going, okay, I need a change, but potentially they're holding back for whatever reason. What would be like your top tips for somebody in that situation that you're in?
Yeah, first of all, just do your research and just make sure that cybersecurity is the thing for you. And if you really feel like you love it, then you just got to do it, because the longer you wait, the more you'll forget about it. And then days will go by, weeks go by, years go by, and then all of a sudden you've been in your job for 10 years and you still hate it and you never moved.
Yep. That's the main one. Any other, so that's number one tip. Any more?
You definitely want to be committed to your studies, even just, 30 minutes, an hour a day, as long as you just do it consistently 3 to 5 times a week. Obviously, have your weekends. Don't overwork yourself. Don't get home and then study all night, every night, because you'll burn yourself out. Just enjoy it and take your time.
Yeah, really good. Really good tips, man. I think often it sounds obvious when we say it. Like if you break down your 3 tips there, they're really simple and they seem obvious, but they're things that people just don't often do, right? The first one is do your research. Obviously, it sounds, important to do your research when you're thinking about doing a career change and trusting an organization like Cyber Revolution to help you do that. So do your research. Listen to these podcasts. Don't just go, yeah, I want to do it and just jump into it, because it might not be for you. Listen to the podcasts, research about the cybersecurity industry, ask our cyber consultants that you have a one-on-one session with about the industry. That's really important. And then if you think, you know what, I do need to do this, I need to make a change, the second tip that you gave is just do it. Because as you said, 1 week can turn into a month, can turn into a year, and then you're just like, oh, this is too hard, I'm never going to do it. Nothing changes, and then you look back with regret, which is obviously a horrible feeling to have. So that's really, really important, actually acting on that, on that feeling. And then the third one is, once you do it, stay consistent, I think is really, really important, and enjoy the process of learning, mate. And if everyone can do that, you can do those 3 things. If you're listening now and you're not sure whether you want to do it, please listen to those 3 tips and action on it. And it may not be a good fit, but it might be. Okay, so I think they're really good bits of value that you've added there, Jayden. Appreciate it. Good note to end on there. I think really appreciate you jumping on and spending the time out of your day. I know that you are still, how far in? 4 weeks into your new job?
Yeah.
You're a month in. How's your brain feeling? You're a bit...
Not really, to be honest. I'm just loving it. I'm just really enjoying my time in IT.
Awesome. As you said, just enjoying every day, learning a bunch, and it's awesome to see that you've made that change, mate. Proud of you. And from now, you're going to continue whilst you're in the lucky position where you've landed a job while studying with us. It's really important that you, as you say, stay consistent. I know you're learning on the job, and you've also got Charisse, your student support officer, to support you throughout your studies and make sure that you progress whilst in the industry, mate. So please, obviously, continue doing that, okay?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you did get some value out of it, or if you know somebody who might get some value out of it, please let them know about the podcast. You can like, comment, subscribe, review the podcast as well. All that stuff helps us help more people. If you want to know a little bit more about the job placement program that Jayden is currently doing, all you have to do is head to cyberrevolution.com.au, leave your details there, and someone from the team will be in touch. Thanks, guys.